Hey guys, thanks so much for joining in today. And I guarantee you're going to want to sing along if you're a child of the 80s. So I'm doing my second door hanger for our blank club, and that means you get one of these, but it doesn't have any paint on it. You get to paint it yourself. This is the other one I did the other day ago. I am still waiting for the red glitter to be in stock so I can finish that one. This one, and wait for it. I'm gonna move some of my stuff. Welcome to the Love Shack. I love that. And the kids today, they're like, what are you talking about? Tin roof rusted. That's what we're talking about. So welcome to the Love Shack. I'm really excited about this one. It's one of the picks for our blank door hanger, like the bare naked door hanger club we're starting. And then, so a couple things you're going to want if you're going to join the club is you're going to need a pack of paintbrushes and then some foam brushes, and or I love these Martha Stewart dabbers is what she calls them, but honestly I use them to paint because it gets things done and gets them done right away. So I also have this glitter. It's called Raspberry. I figured, fantastic. I figured it would look really good on top of magenta. The red's still not in. I don't know what happened, probably Christmas, but I'm gonna look for it on Amazon. So the first thing we're gonna do is the tape trick. So I wanted to paint along with you, and I'm gonna say full disclosure, Lula's in here and she is full of P and V, if you know what I mean. So I'm trying to get her distracted with a paper towel roll. Ooh, there we go. Anything. So the tape trick is any of the little pieces we need to secure. So it's easier to tape. Great, now she has the paper towel roll, but she's kind of going for it. So they're easier to paint, and we don't lose them. It's a judge-free zone, but if we're having a girl get together, boy get together, whatever, and you're having like a little bit too many cocktails, my cocktail of choice would be a mojito, of course, made with golden rum. You don't want to do the drunken crawl under the table to retrieve your lost little letters. Nor do you want to go home and say, oh my gosh, I lost an M or an E. What do I do now? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you'd want to be careful of the scripted letters. They can be a little delicate. So when I pull it off the tape, I want to be very careful. Stay there. The hearts. I feel like my shack, Love Shack. Come on guys, sing along. It's going to be in your head all day. I feel like the shack is fine. And the love is definitely fine. But then, just two pieces. My first time painting, have a little grace. Two pieces here. Again, I feel like they're fine. So I'm just going to put it to the side. But you're going to want to be careful if you if you join us in our membership, you're going to want to be careful of that heart in case it breaks. If it does break when you glue it back on here, nobody's going to be able to tell, though we will. And it's kind of bummer, I've done it before to me, and I'm like, oh, I know it's broken under there. Okay. So we make it easy. So we engrave, or etch, I guess is the proper term, the welcome to the Love Shack here, so you know where to put your letters and your words. We have two holes at the top for hanging. Sometimes the design comes with the holes placed very far apart. There's not a lot I can do about that. I can either add holes or take holes away. All right, so what else do I need today? I'm gonna take a couple shop towels, a filbert, and then either E6000 and or if you want a super glue. I wanna point out that if you get this wood super glue from the dollar store, it's not super glue per se, but once it does, meaning it takes a long time for it to adhere. But once it does, guys, it's like an infomercial. That stuff isn't going anywhere. So it is kind of nicer because it's thicker, and a natural product can have a little warping. Takes care of that. But Most of us want our pieces to stick and to stick now. Dang it. Thanks for joining. Let me know where you're coming from. I know I'm still not showing my face yet because it burnt my hair. It's not that bad, but you know, not everyone can say, hey, I'm a grown woman and I burnt my hair off. Let me just turn this down a little bit. So go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you know the song Love Shack? If you do, tell Alexa to go ahead and get it coming, that you want to hear that song. All right, so I really don't know that I have a paint plate. And yesterday I went ahead and just used my paper, and that was fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use an old paint plate from yesterday, and everything is dry. And I'm basically gonna do the same technique because I really like it. So we use it's called an underlayment, and it has a very pretty grain to it. If you could care less about the grain, oh Lou, you're fine. If you could care less about the grain, you're just gonna paint over it like a, like a fence. But if you want to see the grain, we want to kind of tease it up with kind of a stainy look. So it's called a water stain, and it's not a stain at all. It's just watered down acrylic paint. So I get the color I want and I really water it down, and then I wipe it off. Sometimes I have to work in sections, but let's get started. I feel like it's Saturday morning. I know it's not. Okay, yesterday I did not have enough. Let's do it. This is burnt sienna, a little bit of Mars Black. Craft paint is completely fine for this. I will probably list some items I recommend in Amazon store. I need to probably get on that. I might want to go just a dip darker. Ta-da. You really want to water down your paint. It's a stain, guys. It's a stain. Okay, so I kind of divide it in half. I'm just going to go up and down and try not to splatter my friends at the table if I had any friends painting with me, which that sounds unbelievably sad. I don't have any friends painting with me. Let me know if you're painting at home. What are you painting? So we're going to be opening up our membership. And how this works is we're going to be sending out a door hanger every other month. You get to choose one of 4. We're going to let you have a choice. And you know what? I've had people say, well, why can't I get one every month? Maybe we'll do that later on. But I didn't want to overwhelm y'all. So I'm just using my shop towel to wipe off the extra. I'm going to go a little lighter now because where my big old fingers were pressing hard, I have lines. So I'm just coming back through. What you don't want to do is go against the grain or go kind of like a crazy monkey. You just want to go with the grain. That is gorgeous. You can still see the grain. Ta-da! I love those shop towels too. Everyone's getting a shop towel from now on. You buy an art kit from us, you're getting a shop towel, not just an old serviette. And some part of me keeps thinking today is New Year's Eve, and it's not. It's the day before New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. And if you're leaving me comments, I'm not quite seeing them just yet. There is a little lag, obviously, today. But the big question of the day was, are you singing the song? Are you singing Tin Roof Rusted? There's just something about that song. Even if you don't enjoy that group, and I'm sorry, I'm probably going to make a lot of enemies here. I never listened to them before that song came out, and honestly, I didn't listen to them much after. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of fold, make myself a little section there. I'm just wiping. I'm going to look at the replay because the lighting is better on the replay to see if that strip of wood is just a little lighter. And it's not anybody's fault, but what you can do to fix it, and it's because I really watered down my paint. what you can do to fix it is come back in and do it again. Kelly Sue, do you ever make any other color other than dark brown stain? Yes, yes I do. But when we're making these samples, so that you lovely ladies can kind of visualize what it is we're doing, we tend to go pretty, I don't want to say generic, but you know, just a basic color so you guys can see a little bit more. I feel like it still needs a dot of black. So you're gonna play with that background until you're happy, or have another glass of wine so it doesn't bother you at all. All right, here we go. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Ta-da. So this will be a resource for the people that have chosen to be in our club, and we're super excited that you have. And like I said, it's every other month. Oops. All right, we might have to let it dry and do it again, because what's happening is there's a glue effect happening and it's picking it up. Or this is just a lighter strip of wood under here. I'm gonna blend it. That's why I blend it that way. And honestly, I feel like since the paint is really watered down, that's gonna be fine. It's not a perfect science. There we go. Let it dry. There you go. There she is. There's Lula. Then you're gonna really wanna clean your hands so that, and I have a little spray here. I don't have a sink in my office. Just gonna clean that up so I don't get that stain on my independent letters, because it kind of ruin them. All right, so you knew from my recording yesterday that I'm not in love with the really, really traditional Valentine's colors, so I went real, like I barely, this is my nod to Valentine's, and I'm gonna put some red glitter on it. But what I'm gonna do instead is this one's gonna be a little bit more traditional, a little bit, not too much. I have a photo here I'm gonna refer to, and I think it's pretty cute. I do. And we're just gonna go from that. So that's going to be magenta with the glitter. This will be white to the hearts will be magenta. And the shack will be white, of course. Okay, here we go. Got distracted there. Somebody's like, what? Okay. And then what am I going to do about the hearts? And then the shack. So welcome to the Love Shack. Go ahead and put my pink plate anywhere you want. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put the big love over there. And we're going to just get to going. Okay, so I'm going to so you can pull out your filbert. And here's the question I get every paint party I have. Most of my paint parties are mostly sold out. I normally do 10 to 15 a month. And the question's the same. Do I paint my sides? People that start, I'd say about 90% of them are frustrated at the end, like, oh, I gotta paint my side. People that don't do it 90% at the end, they go, I dripped. So if you use a paintbrush, use very little paint and know that you probably would have some dripping, or a foam brush is very helpful, or a, so this is a pack of foam brushes from Michael's. It is $1.99 for 25 pieces of foam brushes. There's some makeup brushes in there too. I gotta show you because I'm like, what's this for, people? Okay, I'm gonna put my eyeshadow on. And I'm gonna use my Martha Stewart dabbers, and then I have a round dabber here. And I'm just gonna use my paper for my paint. And that way I don't get too much on my paintbrush. So, real quick, I have a little paint. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. I'm gonna take my dabber. I'm gonna load, fully load, but kind of take some off too. And I'm just going to paint. Oh my gosh, Lula, I took her for a walk first. So this is a lot easier than picking up each and every letter, getting your all manicured hands, McNasty. And just know that most every paint will need 2 coats to really be vibrant. And that's just because there's so many transparent colors out there. But you saw that was no stinking time at all. I just whipped in, whipped out, I was done, ta-da. Super excited about that. I'm also gonna do this heart, the same color, and on my 3 little hearts. So the paper will soak in some of your paint, so you're going to use more than you normally would because I'm using watercolor paper. But you could just use, you could use a paper plate, but it tends to slide around too much. And then my 3 little hearts. And this is where I'm seeing the glitter action happening, is on my magenta color. Ooh, this is gonna be really Valentine color, guys. I might a little bit. I don't love Valentine colors, so I might have to throw some teal in there just to settle it down a little bit. So you can clean your paintbrush out with a wipe. Just clean it out. I wouldn't get it wet per se because we are kind of moving into a similar color scheme. Just kind of work it off. I have a lighter pink, a much lighter pink. Gosh, I'm thinking, I wonder if I could make it salmony real quick so I don't have cuteness overload. Let me see. That's pretty pink. I have some cream. Ta-da. Put some gold with it. I got some cream just to make it not so Pepto-Bismol-y, if you know what I mean. Oh, good God. Good grief, people. Okay, let me see what I get. I might not love it. I could use my makeup brush to stir it. If nothing else, it will make a great base coat. I'm not against it though. It's kind of like a dusty rose. Every rose. There was a commercial with Slash on the other day ago, so he seems to be stuck in my head. Okay, so this is for love. Where's the love? The love is a big mumbo jumbo. I'm gonna bring out my Martha Stewart dabbers. Actually, don't get it wet first. I'm just going in. Just really incorporating that color everywhere. Probably gonna need to make more. It's pretty subtle. We don't hate it. Let's see what we end up with. I can still see the grain. I mean, that would be your choice. So paint parties. A lot of you are my wholesale vendors, and it means that you purchase these at wholesale prices and then sell them to your customers. So I would say the #1 concern a new painter has when they come to one of my parties is, how do I mix colors? Now I don't provide them every color in the world, just like with an art kit, I don't provide every color in the world, but you can make colors, just about every color in the world from what I do give you. Okay, so let me go in there, stir that up. Don't be too pink. We're Dusty Rose, guys. So I've made my cream. And that's what I do. I pretty much stand at the paint table and I help people make paint colors. And they get so excited about being able to produce, that might be too pink, their own paint colors. That is a little pinker, but it's a base coat, so I'm okay with that. just gonna go over that again. So it's not rocket science, but when you're using craft paint, you don't always get that expected color that you were expecting to get. Expecto Patronum. Okay, I'm obviously still in vacation mode. Okay, I love that color a lot more than the Pepto-Bismol pink. Hey, speaking of which, did you guys know that if you took Pepto-Bismol and you had a virus inside or something like that, your tongue will turn black? How do I know that? Miss Sydney went to Mexico with the Juju and Jalissa. And if you're from Maple Valley, you know them. They were my staff forever. I still have Jalissa. And like deep Mexico, like Leon. And she ended up picking up a bug of some sort. And when she came home, I gave her Pepto-Bismol. Her tongue turned black. I'm not talking, oh, it's a little staining. I'm talking, it was deep black, guys. Deep black, deep. Okay, see how fast this is going? I got some white. I mean, you can do it the old-fashioned way with a paintbrush. I'm telling you, you can. But some of us have lives and we want to visit with our friends while we're painting this. So that's what I'm hearing a lot. A lot of you mamas are like, I'm taking 4 of these, 1 for each of my girls, and we're going to do, you know, an inexpensive night in. And then you guys share the shipping that way. Night in, every other month, it's planned. We're going to do it. And each of you pick your favorite design, and we hand make them. Oops. That's a little highlighting. We're just doing a little highlighting there, people. We hand make them, so they do take a little while. Like you'll order the 1st through the 5th, and then we'll start cutting, start making them, start packaging them up, and then we send them to you. Okay. So you see how that goes? So simple. Everything needs 2 coats. So come with me on this journey. So I feel like this one is by far the easiest design. So we try to, this is what we do. So there's 4 designs. This month we offered 2 Valentines, 1 St. Patrick's Day, and 1 snarky one. So what if you wanted 2 of the designs? You can pick 2 at that lower price. So normally we charge $39 for these if you're buying from our store, and extra for the paint. So if you're at a paint party, it would be $45. But we're selling these for $29 if you join our membership, and that's to start. That price will go up for other people over time, but not for you. Okay. Ta-da! Welcome to the Love Shack. You know what? I forgot to paint this bad boy. So I could skip him. And then, so these are all dry. I'm just going to do this. So this could go in here and the brown wood would show through. Or I could paint that. Oh, man. So many choices. So let me check. I'm going to check. We're visual people. I'm going to line that up. Oops. Oopsie. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to drop it in somewhere. And I'm going to pretend like it's centered. Let me see. Okay, so that looks pretty fantastic. I'm waiting for the replay. That looks pretty fantastic. Or I can paint this and stick it in here. So one thing to keep in mind, you guys see that? One is like scorched earth. That's where the laser cutter came in and did its cuts. The smaller the piece, the more scorched earth it is. That way you know, and then the other side is more grainy. There still might be some scorchy marks, but not too much. So that's how you know what direction things go in. So what's gonna happen is somebody will paint something, but they'll paint it upside down because they didn't do the tape trick. And so then they'll try to put it in and they'll be like, lady, it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. And I'm like, turn it over, Turn it over. Seriously, it fit. Okay, so it goes in like that. And then this goes like that. I kind of like that lighter look. I'm waiting for the replay. Dang it. I hate it. You know what? That could be the teal. That could be my nod to teal. So it's not like all stinking pink. I'm going to think about that for just a second. I kind of like it. I definitely don't want white. I feel like this is more than enough white. So with canvas, I truly believe that every painting should have white, should have black. I don't always feel that way with wood. It's kind of very personal choice. And you could totally disagree with me. Completely and utterly. I'm looking for my pokey tool. Or the back side of a paintbrush, that works too. Ta-da. All right. Ta-da. So if you were buying these, all you would have to do is pick up some paintbrush kits and some paints for your girlfriends. This is bare bones. I mean, you can order them from us. It's not going to be as cheap as being able to go to the store though. And it's because we have to put them all together, or I have to pay one of my kids to put it together and pay for the product. So we're sending you the bare bones project, and I will get you a link to order from Amazon if you want. I'm starting to push kind of hard. That's why I'm having seepage go down. Oh, that sounds bad. I'm having some seepage. That sounds like a bad weekend at the hospital. But it's still pretty accurate. Now, glitter, 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 glitter. I'm going to show you what to do with the glitter here in a second. Okay, so you're going to probably have to give the white a third coat. I'm not going to make you go on that journey with me. If you're using a paintbrush, it's probably better, but you're dripping. Okay, I'm going to put this up right here. So hopefully you guys are digging this. It's awesome. Like I said, it's bare bones. It is bare bones price. And because of that, we did not include shipping. Shipping is extra, but we should have a local pickup button for my friends that are local. We just have to have like a range of pickup time. Or maybe technology doesn't allow me to do that, like we did when we started our kids box. Okay. Ta-da! So I don't know that I'm going to give the Love another coat of that dusty rose. I just don't know I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and soak my paintbrushes, or those thingies, whatever we're going to call them. And I'm going to get ready to start with the glitter. I get asked 100 times a day about my glitter glue. It's not rocket science. I believe I probably am the only one that ever has done it. I don't use Elmer's white glue, but you can use Elmer's clear glue. Instead, I don't see my container. Let me get the container. It's a Craft Smart from Michael's, and it's ginormous because of paint parties. It's just ginormous. Now, I used to pay $1,000,001 for my glitter glue from Martha Stewart, you know, because they're like 2 ounces and they're $3 each. And in the studio, flip and flip. We used so much. It was so not cost effective. So I went to making my own, and the clear glue, you can get this in a smaller container, guys. You don't have to get a big one. This is the most inexpensive because it's $16 for a gallon. There's normally a coupon because it's not normally on sale, or it's, 40% off. And so it makes it really affordable. And sometimes I have to thin it down a little bit, only because I want to be able to brush the glue on. So I don't know if you can see that viscosity or not. So I have a container of water. I'm just gonna put just a couple drops, and I'm gonna open up this beautiful raspberry. Okay, you guys are gonna laugh at me. I don't take the lid off because I can't figure out how to. I know. She's got a college degree? Yeah. Barely. Did you guys know that I was in school forever, in college, and finally I'm pregnant with Sydney. I'm 33, and I'm like, I've been at this school forever, and I love it. I'd keep going, but I also needed to be done. I still short a class, and I wrote them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been here forever. Check my records. I'm short a class. You know, if you free me up, if you graduate me, it frees you up for new money. They graduated me. Now this was 20 some years ago. Thank you, University of Montana. But I pitch in the deal. I was in school forever. Okay, loving. The raspberry is amazing. I wish you guys could see this. It is beautiful. So if I'm not going into a ton of detail work on these 18-inch hangers, how long does it take me? I would say it probably takes about 30 some minutes, maybe 45. For you, if you're having a girls' night, take 2 to 4 hours. Be done in an hour and a half, but the rest of the time is your time. The babysitter doesn't need to know. The husband doesn't need to know. It's girls' night. You're still painting when they call. What you say is, I'm still painting. I'm not done painting. Meanwhile, you know, your project is painted and dried in the corner, and kind of so are you, right? Oh, maybe it's just me and my girls. So you definitely want to continue painting these until you're super happy. Wow. You know what I didn't do? It's the same color, right? Yeah, the heart. The inside of the heart. I did not do it. So I didn't give it a second coat. I don't think it's going to matter because of the glitter effect. Now be warned that the glue extends drying time. What's that mean? Let it dry. Dry it. And I'm trying to be smooth, even though there's a shrinkage rate of 33%. If I put in crazy thick globby lines, that would be noticeable in the finished product. So you want to go nice and smooth. Love it. And then let it dry, keep going, keep applying. Why am I insisting you let it dry? It's a glue product, meaning if it's starting to dry, excuse me, and it's getting tacky, what it's gonna do is you're gonna be picking up the previous layer. You're giving it a bald spot. So I know that I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do it again. But I feel like, you know what? Let's get to it. Let's start putting this puppy together. So where's my shop towels? No. Just want to clean this up a little bit. I didn't use a single paintbrush. Not a one. I love it. I just used some foam brushes and my Martha Stewart dabbers, or, you know, like those bingo daughters that don't, you know, like, here, I got one right here. These bingo daughters. Yep, I'm sure that there are some websites out there that sell just those, and they're pretty much throwaway, but if you gave everybody 3, they wouldn't have to get their fingers nasty. Okay, hello, like that. All right, so just keep in mind, as you know, I'm gonna show you everything I do is a mistake. Keep in mind that if you put a wet thing down on the background, you're gonna have some, you know, that seepage word again. Okay, so my background is etched. I know exactly where everything goes. I'm sitting right on the letters, aren't I? Okay, right there. Okay, where's my shack? Here's my shack. My love shack, baby love shack. I'm the world's worst singer, I know. when I sing, John turns the music up so he can't hear me. He's so mean. Okay, that needs to dry. I think I'm gonna keep that plain because I really like that nod to natural right there. This has to dry a little bit more. Come on, you, get in there. Woo, that's shiny and beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna hit every single one of these letters with a little bit more of that raspberry glitter. It is from Michaels, raspberry extra fine. You need extra fine. You need that powdery glitter. The bigger glitter would just be chunky. I want it to be barely noticeable. There's a huge difference between this heart. I gave 2 coats too, and that's, see? So right now they just look like they have smallpox. When they dry and I give them a second coat, they're gonna look fantastic. Okay, so what else do you need to do to your hanger? Well, you're gonna need something to hang it up with. And I would just use jute and some gorgeous ribbon. And then show me pictures because I really don't have the styling decor, Jean. And so people are always like, where's my ribbon? Yeah, no, you're not getting a ribbon. Okay, so, and then these are etched so I know right where these go. Kind of dummy proof. Last one. Welcome to the Love Shack. Okay, I'm going to use E6000, but just keep in mind that it does have like an oozing factor and a glide. What in the heck is a glide? When I put the glue on, it looks like it's in place, and then I turn around and I look and it's slid. You only need some dots. You don't need to outline. So dot, 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 dot. Put it in place. Hold it down. You can use super glue. I prefer the Gorilla Glue gel, and I'm not seeing it right this second. But you could do everybody in the party. The thing to know is with this glue, you have a little bit of room to fuss with it, a little bit of time, where you, like the instant super glue, you're gonna push it down and it's gonna be done. Oh, here's the gel. Ta-da. So, Gorilla Super Glue. So what you could do is go down to Michael's or whatever, or go on to Amazon and order 4 packs. They end up being $1 each. And, or this is like $4. And then everyone can have their own. And if they're only putting dots, you're gonna be completely fine. If your guests are outlining, then what's gonna happen is they're gonna pretty much need 5 or 6 of those puppies. So I really love this design. Let me show you yesterday, or 2 days ago. We did Love Lives Here. This is one of our choices for this month, for January, excuse me, for the new membership. Love Lives Here, or Welcome to the Love Shack. In a day or so, I'm gonna do the shenanigans, and then we have one that reads welcome-ish. It just depends who you are. And so we like to have a snarky one. So we have 4 choices for you to choose from. And if you're on our wait list, you get notified right away when we open up. And if you join on that first day, we have an early bird prize for you. You're gonna want that. Thanks for joining today, guys. And share your work with me if you get this and you paint it. Bye.